should go first.
Alright, I can do this.
Yes.
Lunari.
Alright, so my name is Lunari. Not really in real life, just that's my handle online. But I go by a plethora of other names. But my writing handle is the Lunar Samurai. And I write pony fan fiction. And that makes me hurt a little bit inside, but it's okay.
Calm down. Calm down.
No. I'm gonna have like an emotional breakdown.
Calm your tits.
I'm gonna break down on the first stream.
Don't have a breakdown. I'll toss my Unicron at you.
You guys are so supportive, thank you.
Ugh. I am Weatherbug, the fantastic writer.
Can confirm, have read his stuff, didn't die while reading it.
Yeah, I'm not that great.
Oh, go on with yourself.
I shall not. I like being a mystery.
Well, that'll all be stopped here in a few moments.
How come? Had a D-hood.
Alright, so who's next?
Speak, dammit.
I am. Oh, go ahead, Stall.
I think he's cutting out.
Ah.
Okay, I'll go if that's all right.
Sure.
I'm RK Striker JK5. I am known as that mostly on the net. I am from New Hampshire. I was born in 1978. I remember the original My Little Ponies. I've been writing fanfic since 1995. My original stuff was on notebook paper.
Damn.
I've been breathing since 1995, so I mean that's... Wow, okay.
Yeah, I've been breathing since 1993, so...
You might feel so proud.
I've been writing not just My Little Pony fanfic, but Star Trek, Star Wars, Transformers. I've occasionally dabbled in Sailor Moon.
I have written... I actually started writing fan fiction when I was in 6th grade. I read a book by Kenneth Opel, a Canadian writer. The stories were called Silverwing. It's about a bat, and it's a really good series if you plan on going to find something good to read. Sorry, I was yawning.
All right.
I started reading and writing fan fiction shortly after that. I did Warrior fan fiction. I've done League of Legends. I've done Code Lyoko, Pokemon, Legend of Korra, and Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Inuyasha. So, a little bit of different things.
Wide variety.
Alright, you guys hear me now?
Yep, I like my variety. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alright, so I'm Saul. I just graduated from high school about 2 weeks, about a week ago. I've been writing fan fiction for about 3 years now. I originally started off horribly, and my original stuff was on notebook paper as well. But never again. I'm never going to read that stuff again. It was horrifyingly horrible. And I also like to edit stories, and I've done quite a bit of editing within these 2 years. I've done it, maybe 2 years, maybe 1 year. I don't know. It's time just blurs after a while.
Alright, so what should our, now that we're done with the introductions and we all know...
Excuse me, getting someone our way?
Oh no, that was
okay,
intentional.
okay.
That's not forgetting you, that's leaving you
Yeah,
behind.
you will just forget the British, don't you?
No,
Shut up,
What
Dad!
did the average ever get for us?
that was horrible because we did leave you behind.
Yeah, my name... My name is Mr. Long Surname. That's obviously my internet name, clearly, I mean, yeah. I write pony stuff because I'm the manliest man ever, and I've been writing
We
for
all
about
love you for
2
it.
years now, and yeah, that's about it really. Not much.
God damn
so.
it! I forgot my spaceship. Sorry.
We are not distracted.
Clearly.
I'm sorry. I'm building a house. You were saying though, Mr. Longsharnheim.
Well, I said everything now. There's not much to say, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah.
What was your inspiration?
My inspiration, oh god. To be honest, I just was reading fan fictions for a while. I was into like Star Wars stuff, so yeah, and just yeah, that's about it.
We're getting cuts in and out.
That'd be a good topic.
Oh.
What was our inspiration for writing our first fanfic?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be, because I actually have 2 stories.
Let's start with you then, Mr. Long John.
Is that me? Am I Mr. Long John now?
I was talking to whoever's yelling at Michael.
Oh, we're professional.
We're gonna have to fuck with. I'm not. We're gonna have to mess with him when he comes back. But oh, are you back, Michael?
Yeah, sorry, I had to deal with something.
It's alright.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid actually using your name because it is on your tag. But then again, whoever that was kind of just started shouting at you, so
Yeah.
I am currently on my way to hell. Okay, we were going to start with you and your inspiration for why you started actually writing fan fiction.
Alright. So like I was saying, I was into Star Wars and stuff. I was just searching the internet because I have no life, and I just came across some Star Wars. I was like, hard, so I started writing, and then skip a year or so, I became a brony and started writing about that stuff. My first stuff was obviously horrible. I mean, isn't everyone's? But yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest.
Cool. Okay, who would like to go next?
I guess I will. I kind of got into fanfiction because I was on Omegle one time, talking to some guy, and he kind of mentioned it, like, in passing, and I was like, I've never read any of the fanfiction. It was back when I was, like, brand new into the fandom, the Brony fandom, whatever you want to call it, and I just kind of got into it, and I was like, this is good. I want to make one too. And then I failed epically, and here I am now.
It's always the best way to start, though.
You can only
It is
follow up.
really. I mean, you guys should see my first stuff. Like you've seen at least Weather and Luna. In RK, I've seen like my most recent stuff. Like my new stuff, old stuff. Horrible. I'll show it to you guys sometime.
I was actually thinking later on, and maybe after a few topics, we could probably talk about possibly our favorite stories that we've written ourselves, and kind of discuss how or why we think that those were really progressionary for us.
All right.
But
All right. I guess Luna's next. Luna or RK, take your pick.
Luna, go
Alright,
ahead.
I got this. So, effectively, it started with 2 different stories. One when I was like 13, and the other one when I was like 18. So, when I was 13, I watched the movie City of Ember. And that was the absolute coolest crap I had ever seen. The concept of, like, you know, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it or not, but basically humanity had to be pushed underground and lived in this not cyberpunk, but steampunk, that's what it is. They lived in this steampunk underground city, and I thought it was really cool, and it had a lot of potential, and so I started writing the trashiest story I think I have ever read or thought about. It was awful. Just some of the things just make me cringe thinking about it. But effectively, that was my foray into fan fiction, because at the time I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know people wrote based on in established universes, so I just kind of quit because I didn't know people did that at all. Then comes the Brony fandom, and I was introduced to my first very strange Brony at camp when he was playing League of Legends and then would stop the game, like after he was done with his game, would stop, and then like he opened up one of the ones, I forget which episode it was, but he pointed at Rainbow Dash and goes, "That one's my favorite." And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So then I kind of, you know, over the next month, I kind of like did that thing where you like kind of half Google something. It's like cartoon horses, enter, and you just see it's like, oh look, accidentally My Little Pony stuff came up. I guess I'm not actually weird. And then I embraced my weirdness, you know, about 3 months later. But I realized that there was a huge demand for writing in the fandom. And I had tried it before when I was younger and never really got anywhere. So I was like, you know what? Why not try it again? So I sat down and wrote this really bad story, albeit better than the one I did when I was 13. But that ended up being the second longest story I ever wrote. It's called The Messenger. It was supposed to be a 4-book series. Yeah, I got like 1 book in. I was like, screw this. Just so done with it after that. But it was like it's this new Lunar Republic story that was really bad, and it wasn't that bad. I'm probably being a little too hard on myself, but I did a lot of work to get that thing ready, and I sent it to my editor at the time, which I found on Omegle of all places. I sent it to my editor once I had finished it. Now this is 40,000 words.
You found wait, real quick. You found something on Omegle?
I found an editor, a guy willing to edit all my stories on Omegle. He was.
Wow, you're
Yeah,
lucky.
he's.
Last time I was on there, I found nothing but dick.
That's why you go to the chat version, not the like video chat version. Regardless.
I didn't know there was more versions.
The thing with the chat though is that if you go to the chat and type in no subjects, all it is hoarding guys and bots.
Yeah, it was better a while back, but
Then you got that one guy that's just like sitting there absently picking his nose. Like, doesn't even care if you're there. He's just like.
he's just going for it. But
Better to chat with the bots.
He sounds like a gorilla, just like.
it's like, you know your mic's on, right? He doesn't respond. But I sent my copy to the guy, and 2 days later
Then he holds
sends
it up
it
to the
back
camera.
with the message, "This is shit, write it again." And I was so mad. I was furious. That was 40,000 words, the biggest thing I'd ever done in my life. And then this guy's telling me it's trash. I mean, he was right, but I was mad. So then I rewrote it. It took like 6 months, and then I haven't continued
But
the
he was
series
right.
because the plot line's weird and I don't like it. But yeah, basically that's how I got into fan fiction. From weird movies about steampunk underground buildings and an asshole who told me all my stuff was shit.
I'm actually kind of curious how long my first one was. I'm trying to open up the Microsoft Word document right now.
And I am
I think that's-
drowning on a reindeer.
It is.
I'm playing Terraria for those who don't know. But yeah, whose turn is it?
RK's.
I guess I'll. Okay. Do you want the 1995 version?
Sure.
Yes.
Way back in olden times.
Back before there was such things as cell phones.
And color.
Or the internet, practically. I mean, I know there was an information service, but I didn't know of the information service, you know?
Back when car radios didn't have CD drives.
Yeah, my first car, bought in 1998, did not have a CD drive. It had a tape deck.
Mine does
I have
too.
I have a 1988 Mazda that has a tape deck and no cup holders. It's got a 2-part seatbelt. One over the shoulder, one across the lap.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh my god. Sounds the
It's
best-
such a
that's
piece of
the
shit,
best
though.
ever.
The alarm goes off because the door doesn't close all the way.
Wow.
Your car's on alarm.
At least you're
It locked, like the door locks into place. It just doesn't register that it's closed.
at least your
So
car
it
doesn't
goes-
shut down on you while you're driving. That's been what I've been dealing with recently.
It cost, yeah.
Wow. I had to
Mine
get a
did
new
that.
car.
Mine did that to me actually just recently. I'm still paying off the bills
Ugh.
for it. Cost
Back
me
in-
$1,200 to fix.
Holy crap. No, mine just, we tried to fix it and put about $600 into it, and we're like, you know what? I'm not really in traffic that much. So it seems to have fixed itself, but every now and again it's just like, nah, screw driving. I want to be off today. Just
I've had my car for like a month now, and we just like dumped.
Let's go
$600
back to
into it.
1995 though.
1 second. I'm finishing this.
Okay, go ahead,
and
stop.
we just dumped like $600 into it, and it's a nice car. It didn't run for like 4 years straight because stupid reasons. And like just of yesterday, my headlights screwed up, the AC belt fell off, and the radio stopped working.
nice.
Awesome.
Congratulations. I sold my car because I sold my Cadillac, my 1993 Cadillac Seville, because, or 1999 Cadillac Seville, beautiful car, heavy front-wheel drive, great car, V8 engine. I mean, it had a 6-disc changer in the middle console, and great speakers. Barely any miles on it. But I had to sell it because the windows stopped working, the radio stopped working, 2 of the 4 seat warmers stopped working, there was a leak in the trunk, there was a leak on the hood, and the engine started sputtering out randomly while driving. So
Ugh.
Yeah.
I sold it before the brakes
How
went
much?
out. Pretty much all that was left for it to do was brakes drop out from underneath.
That's what happened to me in February.
That sucks.
Yeah, I was driving home from the Fox Run Mall, and my brakes all of a sudden decided, you know what? Let's stop working a bit. You know, we've been working. We don't have to work right now. So I was able to kind of coast into my driveway.
Nice.
Okay.
Brakes going on
I'm gonna
And my
have to
straight.
car-
go now.
Huh?
I'm gonna.
Alright, let's go.
I'm gonna have to go.
Oh,
Oh,
Alright.
all right. Aw.
That makes
Yes.
me sad.
Thank you, Michael.
Salute you.
Yeah. Well,
Have a good
bye.
night.
I guess.
have a good one.
Long
Okay.
surname.
Go
Goodbye.
back to-
Yeah, back to your 1995. How you got interested in everything?
Back in 1995, I first started getting into Star Wars really for the first time. I was aware of the series. I had seen like 75 to 80% of A New Hope, but never exactly in order. It would be like, oh, Star Wars is on. A few minutes later, oh wait, something else is on. Click. I'd only seen maybe like 5 minutes of Empire Strikes Back, and only the end. And I had seen the entirety of Return of the Jedi, but usually only the USA Network edit, which was 3 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the bookstore in Walden Books in the local mall, and I saw a book series there called The Young Jedi Knights, which had just come out, which was basically Star Wars: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
I bought it. I fell in love. I started reading these books, and it was like so awesome to me. I loved these characters, and I was just like, wow, these are so cool. Hey, I love Star Trek too. You know, I kind of wonder what would happen if Star Trek and Star Wars came together.
Fandoms would burn.
Oh, things I have seen, Lunari. The things I have seen.
Worlds have been burned. It's a
No,
good
I've
thing
seen-
there's such thing as a multiverse.
Yeah. So my first fanfic was, again, written out on notebook paper, was basically Star Wars and Star Trek little hole in space and the two sides meeting.
Nice.
Unfortunately, at the time, because I was a complete and utter idiot, I also inserted myself into the story.
Good job. How to ruin a story 101.
Dang.
Yup. If I'm gonna fail, I might as well fail big and fail first.
If you're gonna fall face first.
Yep.
It's always gonna be a better landing, guaranteed.
And I made myself into a Starfleet Ace Jedi fighter pilot.
Good going.
Oh no.
Yes.
But
It was-
honestly, that's not a bad insert. I mean, there's a lot worse. You could be the bartender that somehow saves the entire world.
No, I never did that.
Exactly.
So there was
I
was
always-
hope, is what Weather's trying to say.
Yes. And I always lost to Luke in lightsaber duels.
At
Good.
least okay, then that's something to note, is the fact that is actually really I have seen one too many self-inserts where it's like especially in the MLP fandom where it's just, my name is Dark
I am
Storm.
superhero.
I'm a red and black alicorn that's more powerful than Celeste, and it's just like, no, please stop.
Yes, sir.
Stop giving away
Please.
spoilers to my very first story. Gosh.
My first story wasn't too bad though.
Yeah, well,
I wasn't.
You said you
Why
had
wasn't-
2 stories, didn't you?
me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah, my first MLP story, but yeah, I wrote like maybe 6 or 7 stories for this Star Trek Star Wars series. And then in 2003, 2000, I had found the internet. But,
Uh-oh.
yes. I didn't post it anywhere. It's still on notebook paper. It's still somewhere in my house where it will remain buried.
Mm-hmm.
Probably in 2003, I actually started publishing online a Star Wars Sailor Moon crossover.
Mm-hmm.
That one, however, did not have me inserted into it.
I like the applause.
I've posted Sailor Moon, Star Wars, Transformers, another Transformers Star Wars crossover. And I got into MLP, Frenchman's Magic, pretty much when it started. There's a guy named Sun Tzu on a message board who did a review of the original MLP series, and then started when the new series started. And I was reading his stuff, and I was like, okay, this seems like an interesting show. I started watching
Sorry.
it. Oh, this is good. And then I figured, okay, I'll start writing fanfic of this. On another message board called Space Battles, there was a brainstorming thread in the Creative Writing Archive, and one of the ideas was, okay, how do we cross Generation 1 and Generation 4 together? And one of the ideas was, naturally, that G1 is the ancient past of G4. And I kind of ran with that, and kept on running.
Nice.
Yep.
Did he drop this time, or is it me? I think it's me.
What are you talking about? Can you hear me?
Everybody keeps I don't know if it's me dropping or something.
I can
I think
I
I'm
heard
dropping
everything.
in and out.
I heard
I'm
everything
hearing.
Arcade said.
same.
Okay, then yeah, it's me dropping out because he was cutting out.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's not you, it's me. Literally.
Okay. Weather, I thought you loved me!
Oh gosh, okay. This is gonna be an interesting
mean-
stream.
I ship it.
Yeah, so my big thing is Generation 1, Generation 4 crossover called The Elements of Harmony and Savior of Worlds, which I have
I know
finished.
that story.
Yes, you're editing it, Stall. And that's really about it.
So that just leaves me, yeah?
Go right ahead, Weather.
the fuck? I don't know where to start. Should I start back when I first started writing, or
First started writing, and
let's
then
go with
when
that.
you got into MLP. It seems to be
Oh,
the
when I started writing?
general trend.
Okay, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the straight to MLP because nothing really too interesting. I wrote like 10 chapters of a 4th book to the Silverwing series and tried to send it to the writer,
Publisher?
to Kenneth
Oh,
Oble,
no.
and I can never get a hold of him.
Oh.
So
Okay.
he really needed.
Oh,
It had such an open ending and could have easily done what I had done. Pretty much. I was so proud of the concept I used for that book because it made so much sense and it was such a complex and well devised plot point. But I doubt any of you have read Silverwing by Kenneth Opel, so I'm not gonna bother.
I tried reading it once. Yeah.
No, sorry, I haven't heard of it.
yeah, neither here. So, pones? Horse words?
Pretty much. I can expand on my story a little bit.
Sure. Go ahead.
If you really want to get, oh man, looks like weather dropped.
Yep.
If you really want to get like technical with the whole entire, technical with the whole entire thing of when they got into fanfiction, I guess you could honestly say I've liked fanfiction for like a really, really long time. I just I never actually wrote any of it down. I just thought about it, like what would happen if like all these universes like Naruto or this other anime I watched combined together, and then they all did this thing, and I was a really stupid kid. Anyway,
Oh, no, stupid.
I tried writing a story once. I did, like when I was like 10. It was very bad. Very, very bad. I still have it on this computer, I think.
Stop.
Hammer time?
Stop.
What? Was that weather? Is he just like...
He just he dropped the call, just came back in and just said stop.
Hello.
Hey!
Hello?
There we go. My computer has lost internet, so I'm on my phone now, and I'm going to step outside for a second.
Okay.
But
Okay.
take my phone with me. How's the quality?
Worse?
It's not that bad.
We can hear you.
That's what matters, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, just talking to you on my phone, which works for me, which is awesome that technology has come this far.
That you can talk to a person on the phone.
Yeah. Considering the fact that one of the people that are in this call is, hang on.
Well, to be quite frank, we're all kind of near each
Awesome.
other. I mean,
Yeah, we all have
you and I are
pretty
like
close proximity.
next door neighbors. Luna is Tennessee and RK is New Hampshire. So I mean,
So I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
we'll
that
probably-
cool that we're transmitting data live between like 4 different people with a collective distance of over 1,000 miles between us. It's only impressive when you go across the ocean now.
there you go.
Nah, it's only impressive when you call the International Space Station.
I love
Ooh,
the fact that they
that's gonna be
live stream
next.
from that.
Oh, yes.
I wonder
Oh,
if the
yeah.
internet speed is up there. I guess you could say it's light speed.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Oh, where was I? I mean,
Well, you were inside,
Yeah, it's
and now
fine.
you have gone outside.
yeah, I mean before that, like before I got cut off by my fucking internet.
Oh, that was like 5 minutes. I can't even think back 3 minutes ago.
Okay, well. Yeah,
I have
neither
trouble
can I.
remembering my breakfast.
Who's breakfast?
My breakfast.
God, I hate my phone.
What did your phone ever do to you? Hate such a strong word.
And silence has befallen the chat.
You just gotta love those awkward silences.
I feel like we're gonna have
Right.
lots of them.
Probably. Maybe we'll expand the group one of these days.
Maybe.
I just don't know what to
Maybe.
say half the time.
So, what stories have you written, Luna? What is your best? Oh, hey, what's his face is back.
Michael!
Hey!
You're also enthusiastic.
I mean, Mother Fuji. Mother Tree.
R-
What is with my internet?
Rip.
I know, right? Okay, so, question.
Yes.
I don't remember where I was. What were we talking about?
This is gonna be a fun chat.
Yes,
There
it
already
is.
is. It's about it.
Yes, actually, yes.
Okay, but seriously, the way I ended up getting into the MLP fandom was kind of entertaining, I suppose. I wrote out a story. I made a main character named Nightingale, who was just a Pegasus who I fleshed out her backstory so much that I lost track of where I wanted to start the story from. But after I actually started the story, it was an adventure slice of life. And I had the tags and everything for it, but I ended up taking the story down because I really didn't want it being my first story considering how terrible it was. It wasn't anything, it wasn't a horrible idea. It was a great idea and still is a great idea. But just the way I have to work around essentially adding someone to the friend pool of the main six during one of their big save the world premiere things. And you don't see Zakora walking through there just like, I'm gonna throw this potion at that. So it's really hard to try and just shove a seventh character in there. So I had issues with ironing out the plot, and pacing were my issues. She had an editor up to quite often. He helped me figure out exactly what or how to fix my pacing. I still don't consider myself that great of a writer, but I consider myself fantastic at character creation.
Can I just, like, get a shout out to all the editors out there? Holy crap, I would
That's
be
right.
so
Oh, yeah.
much worse without an editor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh, best friends
Definitely.
forever.
Word life
I need
editors.
to marry an editor.
Stall, get ready.
Too bad
Call
they're
me
all...
weather. Call me. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. I'll be up
Wink,
there
wink.
for you soon.
What are you talking about? Call you? I'm already talking to you on the phone. God, get off my shoulder.
For the people who are listening, for reference, Weather lives like 30 minutes away from where I'm gonna be going to college at.
Oh.
Yeah.
So- Yeah.
Plus, he's my designated editing bitch. I mean,
much.
He's done a fantastic job with the elements of harmony and savior of the world so far.
that he has. He is actually really good, and that's not my story.
No, it's my story.
Yay.
And I'm sticking to it.
I feel like now would be a good time to transition into what I was saying earlier. We could kind of just pick one of our stories and talk about how we've improved while or after or during writing that story.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with writing.
And I will not
Sure.
use my behemoth doorstopper of a story as my example.
No, you can use
No,
that.
because I've got
That is
I've got a better one. Like, this is weird. It's kind of better. It's kind of not. It's shorter, but it's the first time I showed, not told. That was the big, like, eye-opening moment for me.
Alright.
So, who's going first?
I guess
Anyone
honestly,
but
I'll
me.
go first. I'll go
Have a
first.
good day, sir.
Currently, I have like 5 stories,
Okay.
and 2 of which are incomplete. The rest are pretty much one shots. As a writer, I honestly hate my own stuff, and probably the story that pretty much did the biggest turnaround for me was probably That's Your Downfall, which I did kind of in a contest thing with Weather and Luna actually, in which I kind of started realizing my writing wasn't as half bad as I thought it was, and like I started getting kind of like more committed to it. I mean, I also with my very first story, The Fall, that I that's another one I did a lot with, because I got an editor. If you guys don't know him, his name is Oaklehound. He's a great guy, and he pretty much showed me what I was doing wrong and how I could fix it. Like I remember sending him like the first 3 chapters and it having like over 200, 300 comments on it,
Nice.
of like how bad it was. And without him, I would definitely not be where I am at today. So yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it just goes to show
Sorry.
editors are, again, single greatest asset I've ever had with writing.
They are fantastic people. That is for sure. Please, I'm gonna mute myself for a sec.
All right. So, all right. Can you hear like weird noises in the background of my audio?
Yeah.
Okay, that's my dog. She has like a tumor in her throat, and it like every now and again irritates her to the point where she tries to cough it up. It doesn't work, but she sounds absolutely horrid when she does it. So
I'm sorry.
that's okay. We act like we don't love her anyway, so it's okay.
No.
She's a beagle, so she's kind of one of those like, she's one of those dogs with the personality of a cat, basically. If you tell her no, she's like, what does that word mean? And continues what she's doing. So
No.
But
You mean
on the other hand,
yes?
cats are amazing. So I mean,
cats are
whatever.
pretty great, but I guess back on the subject.
I love my cat.
Back on the subject. We're doing. Yes, that's right. Our stories, like single ones that we have.
Yes.
Actually, whichever story you've written that you feel has impacted you the
Okay.
most.
So does that mean I go?
So,
Okay. Just making sure. I didn't want to like start and then somebody else be like, "What the crap, man?" Okay. So I have 2, and I know I'm supposed to only choose one, so I will choose one. But effectively,
I chose 2. It's okay.
okay. Effectively, I have 2. One is called Swan's Mask, which is a story about Scootaloo being a ballet dancer. And the other is Memoirs of a Magic Earth Pony, which, no joke, I'm holding a copy of in my hands right now. I actually got this thing printed, working with a group called the Pony Print Project. They're trying to put some of the longer and some of the more popular fan fictions in print, like actual print. And so they started off.
As someone who, Sorry.
Yes?
No, I was like, as someone who actually has helped out printing something before, that's a lot of work.
Oh
to
yeah, it
do.
is.
yeah.
Yeah, I've printed 2 of my stories so far. This being the second, and oh my god. Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna. Either way, that story effectively marks my rise to not fame, not popularity, but that's the only story I've ever written that whenever I update it, every time I update it, it gets featured, and it's get pushed on Equestria Daily. Like it's a popular story by
It is.
to a certain extent. However, the story that really changed, excuse me, a lot of the ways that I look and how I write, how I look at my characters and how I write, just as a whole, was Swan's Mask. Now, this was a story that kind of hit me. I was browsing FimFiction, which I don't usually do, and getting jealous of everybody in the featured box. And I stumbled across this one guy who wrote a story about Scootaloo being a ballet dancer. And I was like, that is amazing. There was something about it that just captured me, because there was this internal struggle that Scoots had of, well, I can't let Rainbow Dash know because then she'll think I'm stupid. But I have to do this because it's like my inbuilt passion. And there was this really big character conflict. And I added a little bit of a headcanon in there where she like slept at the ballet place and stuff like that to establish a setting. And what I did is I went in and I just completely focused on that age-old adage of show, don't tell. I had been told, show, don't tell. Like, show me the light, glistening off, or show me the moonlight glistening off the broken glass on the ground, rather than saying the moon was out. But I never really understood that until I started writing Swan's Mask. And Swan's Mask is focusing on her being this ballet dancer, but I focused on that inner struggle. There was huge symbolism used with the way her ballet outfit had been made and stuff like that, and it was just visually, I think, one of the most capturing stories I've ever written, because I look back on that and I can see in my mind's eye every scene that I wrote, down to the little specks of dust that would float through the air. And so I'm not sure really how that happened. Something just kind of clicked. And I just kind of sat down and wrote, and then that just kind of exploded, and I was just kind of really surprised. But it...
Happy times.
Yes. So if there's any story that I can point to that really marks a transition, it's Swan's Mask. And actually, that's not that...
When you're at your full potential thanks to inspiration.
Yes. And that's not actually the oldest story I have either. I wrote that in the 19th of December 2014. I remember staying up all night to write it, 6,000 some odd words. It's a short story. It's nothing long. The thing has 99 upvotes and 1 downvote. It is I think that's the highest ratio I have out of any of my stories. So, I'm really, really pleased with that one.
I'll have to read it later.
But
be sure to drop a link.
I'll have to read this as well.
I can just drop a link in the
I
chat.
have it right now, actually. I like as he was telling that, I went to his profile, looked for it, found it. They have it right here.
Drop the link in the chat below, and we'll check it out
Okay.
later.
Yeah.
I got to send.
He's already linked it.
I'll click on that after the chat is over.
Foles!
Hello.
This is Foles Iran. She has 1,000 followers, so we bow to her.
Bow. I'm out of my chair and I'm literally bowing to her right now.
Are you really?
Well, yeah, we're live streaming.
Sorry,
welcome to the
late.
show.
I was having computer issues.
That's okay. We were all having some sort of computer issues earlier, so it's okay.
I don't think
Have a
RK
nice
had a
voice.
computer issue.
I got a quick question. Can you guys hear any background noise?
I can hear a little bit of popping, but nothing really. Like,
That's
no,
not me.
that's Michael. Dang it! The Brit showed up again.
Michael's here.
He just comes in the
I don't know
DMs.
whether to be offended or
The British are
Whatever.
coming. The British are coming. I'm sorry, I had to. We love you.
Kind of.
We love Doctor Who.
Britain in a
Oh.
nutshell, right, guys?
That podcasts have at least one British person.
And one female.
Yep. Now we're diverse.
Oh no,
So
it's not working.
Well, if
Or
you
just
do
one
include,
black
that
person.
one other person who's in our group, what's her face? I can't remember her name right now. Did you have 2 females in the group? But whatever.
You know what we need? We need to hear Foles' story of how she got into
Oh
writing.
yes.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Well, that is true.
Do you want to know how I got into writing, period, or how I got into writing My Little
Both.
Both.
Period. For now, I guess we're an MLP podcast. I kind of thought we were just doing writing in general, but right
We're
for,
both.
for this
No.
episode, we're
Okay.
we're going with what we did. We're just talking about ourselves. So
Okay.
'Cause we're selfish.
Well, I got started. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's actually an extremely long story.
make it short.
I got started writing when I was in 4th grade, and I won a young authors contest at my elementary school, and won for the district actually. That
Nice.
was an
Wow.
interesting time.
Congratulations.
Impressive.
Yeah. Thank you. It was
Impressive
a
indeed.
very short mystery story sort of thing.
Okay.
But how I got started writing fan fiction was I got ideas when I was watching different TV shows, and I knew I wasn't the only one. One of my friends got me an account to make an account on fanfiction.net, where if you look, you can find mostly Sailor Moon stories of mine that I've written. It wasn't until 2000 and why do I have to check this? I don't even remember when I started writing My Little Pony. Give me a sec. 2013 in November that I started writing My Little Pony. And actually, I was extremely against My Little Pony when it first came out. I pretty much blocked it from my site. I didn't want anything to do with it. But at the same time, I was extremely into the Phoenix Wright games and was playing one with my best friend Heather across country because her husband was in the military. And she's like, "There is the coolest Phoenix Wright thing on YouTube," and I said, "Oh yeah, really? Well, link it to me and we'll watch it together." And she's like, "All right, here it is." And I open it and I start the first chapter of it, and I go, "Heather, this has ponies in it." And she's like, I know, but just watch the first one, and I promise if you don't like it, then I'll never show you anything with ponies in it again. I'm like, all right, fine. And so I watched it, and 9 hours later, yeah.
9 hours later, the fan fiction had started, and there was no hope.
Not
Kinda
No turning
related-
back.
Kinda related. I actually just realized that
Hey.
my fanfiction account is like 7 days older than yours, Fools.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
How old is
So,
everybody?
yeah. Mine is November 20th, 2013.
November
13th,
20th?
2013.
I'd have to click on my internet, and I don't want to do that because I'm afraid I will lose contact with you guys.
Whether I'll look for you. I
I'll
got
check
you.
for you.
Mine, I'm back on my computer. Mine is 6th of December 2013.
I'm gonna join in here
What
too. My
was-
dad just walked in, so I have to mute myself every now and again. Number since 27th of October 2012.
Well, you
Yeah, you got
Wait,
to be
Or
there.
does that mean I lose because I
Oh.
don't have the highest number of followers according to how long I've been
Guys.
writing?
win. No, you were here first. You win.
Guys, we all lose. RK's is November 20th, 2011.
Oh well, time to commit Sudoku. It's game over.
Game over, man.
We've
Game
all
over.
lost.
Hell, I've been doing this since 1995.
I know you have. You've been writing My Little Pony since Gen 1, basically, haven't you?
No. My first fanfic was Star Wars Star Trek.
With a
Okay,
self-insert.
my first was at.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
Okay.
shame!
If we're
agony booze.
that's my husband.
You're quite. He's quite all right.
Tell him the weird guy on the internet said yo.
Star Wars, Star Trek, self-insert to the
my first fanfiction that you can find anywhere online is a remake of someone else's fanfiction that I got permission
So
to
fanfiction, fanfiction.
You need to go
do.
deeper.
It is fanfiction.
Wait, is it Fallout Equestria based?
Oh please.
It is Sailor Moon actually, and it is a romance, dark, gritty thing, and I'm so ashamed of it, so I'm not even going to tell you the name of it, so you have no way of finding it, ever.
I read it once.
Don't doubt my capabilities.
I know you have.
Hey, Falls, I've written Sailor Moon fanfic too.
Mine. Okay, so what were we doing before Foles popped in? Stories that influenced us that we've written, or that changed us.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know which to choose. I got quite a few. Foles can go. I'm gonna figure this out.
I've got my first fanfiction, the story that I ever wrote and read, and that was Twilight Landing by Merlos the Mad. It's one where Twilight winds up on Earth, but it's done in an interesting way that if he'll ever get off his butt and continue it, I've actually been helping write. That's how I got into writing My Little Pony fanfiction, is I actually started helping him and have written Twilight's bit for the last 2 chapters of it.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
So, out of all your stories, which story is most influential to you?
Of my own stories? Oh god.
Yeah.
Of my own stories, I would have to say the one that's most influential to me, or the one that's causing the most pain.
The one.
Both.
I was actually
Both?
thinking
Okay.
whichever one happened to have influenced your influenced a change in the way you've learned to write. Like you actually learned something while writing it.
Oh, well, that has to be Mother. I swear I've gone back and forth on that one so many times. Every now and then I just want to cancel it, because all I get are either comments telling me I need to update right away, or comments telling me I've done everything wrong in it.
Ah.
I think it's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I say
Just-
take your own time. It's
The
not.
one I've read of it, it's a good story.
Yeah, it is.
I've liked everything you've written, Falls, so
Thank you. The one that I think has been the most long affecting is Dear Princess Celestia, for obvious reasons. I got lots of comments and even personal messages from people that it affected that needed it at the time.
Nice.
Mhm.
That's the best feeling. When somebody's like, this helped.
It is.
And you're like, what? It's like, I can't even tell you, but just know it helped. You're like, ah! I always get really happy when somebody messages me or, like, says, like, just in a comment, it's like, I really like this story. I'm like, yes! Every time. Because that's kind of what I shoot for when I write.
That,
Is to get...
yeah, I do
whatever-
too. I love
I still
getting
haven't
comments.
read that. I've been meaning to read it.
which one.
Dear Princess Celestia.
It's I've been told that it's kind of mediocre into the last like paragraph, and then it really hits people. That's like the #1 comment I see all the time. So
Yeah.
Was it? I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Yay!
I always forget what I'm gonna say.
But okay, so
I forget what I'm gonna
Did-
say as I'm saying it.
okay, so I think I've narrowed it down to 4 of my stories. The first one being Heart of Silver, which is about Silver Spoon. If you haven't read it, I do recommend it. It's nothing groundbreaking, and it's nothing immediately amazing, but I'm so proud of this one because for me, I started writing it on the 2nd of March is when I posted the first chapter. The last chapter was posted the 4th of November. So over the course of a year, I had written this at about a chapter every 2-3 months, or about, I don't know. Anyways, each chapter I've done this little thing that I decided I wanted to do because I really, 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 really like Disney, and I love the music that they use, or that they make. And each chapter, each of the however many chapters there are, is named after a song that is sang in one of the movies. The movies themselves aren't mentioned, and I use one quote from that song to describe the events of everything in that chapter. And for instance, the first one is "Poor Unfortunate Soul," which I'm sure you can guess what that's from.
Little Mermaid. I was in that musical like last
There you go.
April.
And at the very top of the first chapter, it says, "I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the lights, and made a switch." True. Yes.
Considering that it's
I like that.
silver, considering it was like Silver Spoon, I that makes sense.
Yeah, see?
Yes,
And
that-
each chapter does it. The second chapter is a whole new world. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can kind of get a feel off of that. And if you know the music and you read it, you can't help but hear it in your head. And it
Well, it
sets
is
the
Disney.
mood. It immediately sets the mood for what's to come.
That's interesting. I've always liked the idea of making like a soundtrack or something for my stories, but I don't know how that would work at all. Because
Yeah,
usually,
that's really
actually, the
hard.
music that I've got on the stream right now has been my go-to music for pretty much all my writing with memoirs. But like, that's a really creative way to put music into your story. Whether is have it as lyrics that people would know and recall the song. I never thought of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
no-
really weather.
Another chapter is sorry, what?
No problem. Go. Go ahead.
Another chapter is called "Colors of the Wind." This is like 4 or 5 chapters in, and it's if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew.
that
And
makes
I've
sense.
always loved that quote. And in this chapter, actually, Silver Spoon has she's decided for herself that she needs to make new friends besides Diamond Tiara. They've both been reformed, and their reputations are still pretty much guttered, but they're also much older at this point. They're past being fillies and foals, the past being children. And in this story, it's about experiencing something new. It's about leaving your comfort zone to try something different. Silver Spoon's always been around Tiara, and they've partied, they've had fun times in the past, but they've always done it with themselves and a few others that usually Diamond invites, and well, Silver Spoon feels like a tag along. So
That's
At-
funny. Just interrupt for a second. I went to Everfree Northwest, and all the voice actresses for the Cutie Mark Crusaders and the supposed anti-Cutie Mark Crusaders were there. And my husband actually was talking to Shannon,
mhm.
who does the voice of Silver Spoon, and she signed her autograph with "I am not an accessory."
Nice.
Very nice.
So
I've
Yeah.
always, yeah. The very last chapter though is actually called "When You're the Best of Friends." If you can guess what movie that's from, I'll give you a cookie, an internet cookie.
Can you just give me an internet
What-
cookie
what if I do
anyway?
it?
When you're the best of friends, sharing all that you've
Fox and Hound?
discovered. Yep.
lots and how.
When that moment has
Fox and a
passed,
Hound, give me an
will
internet
that
cookie.
friendship last? Who can say there's a way? Oh, I hope it never ends. Cause you're
British
the
Master
best
Race.
But yeah, it's from Fox and the Hound, one of my personal favorite
I
movies
can't
ever
watch
made.
Fox. I
But
can't watch the Fox and the Hound because I start crying every time.
that
Aw.
scene, it's so much more impactful. I can watch Simba die 10 times and not shed a tear.
Simba
I watched that
dies? What?
and I cry.
Yeah, you watch her take Todd to the forest and you just burst out into tears. I can't take it.
Yeah, I know. It's the music that gets me, but with that, pretty much, that one is one of my personal favorites because I put so much work into it, and it shows how I've built or how I've changed over that course of the year, over that year, all of 2014.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's something that I actually did. Holy shit! I just realized that the never mind. the arrows, the arrow buttons on my keyboard, I never noticed that it goes 4 with the arrow, with the left arrow behind it instead of in front of it, while the 6 has the arrow in front or behind it on the opposite side, so it's on the outside.
What?
So it. Never mind. And-
Your keyboard is
ADD.
sending you a message.
I'm sorry, it's ADD. But essentially, that one is my baby for how I pretty much went about learning, really develop a character. Because in it, I used Aura, who is a background pony, who has absolutely no use anywhere else but my story. Maybe 1 or 2 stories as like 1 or 2 lines here or there, but she's not major focus in any other stories as far as I know. And I love it. Beyond that, there's the trilogy that I aspired to turn into a book, the Vinyl Octavia trilogy, which is amazing. For it, I just love the theme of it, so that one's just honorable mention. Beyond that, there's Under Pressure and Never Ending Impact. Under Pressure is personally one that I found to be a very useful story to a lot of people who are going through like breakups that they feel they can't take care of or they can't fix because simply the other person doesn't love them anymore. It's actually a lot of people have left very positive comments on this one, and one of them actually has a meme from a recent movie. It's big black guy police officer crying with one tear running down his cheek. He's like, "Get back in there, tear," and sucks it back into his eye. Another person's like Under Pressure from Queen, but all in all, this story helped helped quite a few people, even though it was very much underrated. It's currently sitting 21 upvotes and 0 downvotes. But Never Ending Impact, childhood story, mashed up. I wouldn't consider it a self-insert. I just kind of put Twilight Sparkle through some of the same shit I've gone through, which I imagine a lot of other people have also gone through, and a lot of people, this is like this one right here from Free Wing Alchemist, posted this 74 weeks ago. This was a beautiful piece. Thanks for sharing it with us. I'm glad that you could share it with us. It was great. I don't know why he repeats himself, but you have just made my faves with this one. I am glad I stumbled upon it. You did a great job, and best wishes to you. There's tons more like that. A lot of people like, I went through this and this is how I had to deal with it, and I wish I had found something like this sooner. And it's definitely been a life changer for me, at least. I would definitely put it at my most inspirational story. Sorry.
Don't apologize.
No.
I mean, for
I think I gotta add to my two, because while you were talking, I just thought of my magnum opus, which at very least Stahl knows, and I think RK's read it. Starving.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's the first fic I put up, and it was back when I was extremely new, and it got featured the very first day.
Holy
which
crap.
is awesome normally.
That's what Neverending Impact did.
The only thing is that I had just come from fanfiction.net, and I didn't understand the process of all the editing and everything else that the story needs to really be well received, and I got pretty blasted in the comment section. And if it wasn't for Peppy Grayskull, who was banned from the site, and Paris Bright, who's hardly on anymore but is still on
I
some.
know him. Paris Bright's awesome.
Paris Bright is awesome.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I would have stopped writing entirely, but because of them, I was able to hook up with some great editors, some that became very good friends, and I continued writing. And so yeah, that was a big one for me. And yes, Starving is my first story, and it will be my last story on FinFiction. That has always been my plan, and it always will remain my plan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you must be you're gonna be on FinFiction for quite some time then, because you have so many stories.
I have another 40 or 50 ideas that I haven't even started.
Oh my gosh, I know that
I think
feeling.
that's tonight.
Oh god, yes.
Yeah, I can relate. I can
think
relate.
I think it's shown some of you my idea folder.
I want to see your idea.
Oh, I
folder.
know I have you.
I'd like to see that too.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat. Just give me 1 second.
All right.
But you were saying though. Blah 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 blah.
But yeah, that has to be one that was just without the help of others, I would not have continued because
Yeah.
I was just destroyed. 1 minute everything's going great, everyone's loving it, and then the next everyone's bashing me,
Yeah.
and it was awful. It had to be edited by like 4 different people before I even put it back up, and I've always been thankful for that, because if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be where I am now.
There you go.
So
Yeah, everybody has to get some help along the way, and there's no shame. There's literally no point in having shame in having help.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all my stories, out of all 25 of my stories, I have none that have over. I think the most dislikes any of my stories have is 12, and that story's 22 and 12. It was an experimental second view, or second person view, and it didn't go over very well. But most of my stories, I don't even care if I get them edited or not. But yeah.
That made me curious. I went to.
I make a lot of typos in my
So inspiring.
I make a lot of typos in my stories, so I usually have at least somebody to proofread it, because I'm like a fast learner, I guess, and I make. Sorry, you can ask these people right here. I make errors all the time when just typing.
Everybody does.
I do not care when
Unless
I
you've also
message on
got-
Skype.
It's called shorthand.
yeah, exactly. And I found that as a writer, so you make mistakes, but as an editor, you're really, really good at catching them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So that works out.
But yeah. All right. So the stream has been
Wow.
live for like somewhere on the
An hour.
order of an hour,
An hour,
closer to an
Bit
hour
more,
and a half.
hour and a quarter.
So
Do we have anyone
9 and
viewing?
3 quarters hours.
It's like anybody even actually watching?
We have, I think,
We got
1 or
anyone?
2 viewers. People have been dropping in and out.
We have one.
We have
I've been
watchers?
dropping in and out a bit,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I better cover myself.
Let's leak it. Let's leak it everywhere.
I linked it in Reddit.
Uh,
So there's that. But
Once this
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
goes
that
up,
would-
I'll post it to my own
If
blog.
this happens weekly, then I can easily start linking it on my page.
holy
I
crap,
just
if you link
have
it, then we're
on
just
stuff.
gonna get like a horde of people that know Foles. Which
I'll link
I
it
don't
to-
have any problem with at all.
Me either.
I can toss up some
Then,
links
next
at
thing you
Space
know, we're gonna
Battles.
get on a question daily. Then we're gonna get famous. We'll be horse famous, guys.
Yes, horse fame.
Finally!
Yay. I suppose. Should be enthusiastic, shouldn't I?
Something like that, I think.
Oh man, that was so British it hurt.
So British it hurts.
I don't think it could hurt him because he is British.
The upper lip is so stiff, it deflects all blows.
Ha ha ha.
That's what she said.
This is why.
Oh my god, that's a big ass list. I like
Oh,
lists.
wow.
I told you.
Okay.
I told you.
You told us!
I'm not gonna like.
One idea that I had that I would love for anyone to write, I don't care who. I want somebody to take. Let me find it. Go ahead and talk about her stuff.
I mean, that,
Okay, that's a big
that is
list.
a really big.
I've got
Bloody
4
hell.
ideas
I
for
told-
crossovers.
Do you guys outline
I don't.
your stories for your?
There it is. Based on the Animaniacs meeting the psychiatrist.
Oh dear.
If you've never seen Animaniacs, I have the video right here. Or it's 3 minutes long. So if you want to watch it and if you want to actually run through it, you can on the stream.
I watched Animaniacs daily back in the day.
But this episode, I wanna make it Pinky as Dot, Cheese Sandwich as Wacko, and Discord as Yakko.
Ha ha ha! Oh
Nice.
That's awesome.
man, that's perfect.
Overly polite and somewhat rude, somewhat crude, but always funny in some way. Very hyper. Pinkie Pie as Dot. Cheese Sandwich, blunt and honest, but always aiming to pull a prank. More relaxed, but can be hyper. And Discord, brutally honest, but in a funny way. Tendency to speak quickly, often seen as the leader of the trio, calm and collected. Tendencies to be upfront and blunt, but also sly and conniving. It always in a funny way. And as for the psychiatrist that they are tormenting throughout the story, it's Twilight Sparkle, who has decided to revisit the Pinkie Pie and cheesy sense. And Discord just kind of pops in to,
The Discord.
play his, to be
evil.
Discord. And I feel like this would be an amazing one-shot comedy that I just don't feel like writing.
That sounds pretty good. I would take you up on that if I could write comedy worth a damn. I'm not good.
I've never tried comedy, and I feel like I'd fail.
Yeah.
Actually, give me a minute. I'm gonna be my mom's calling me.
No
Alright.
problem.
I'm leaving for good now. It's like 11 and I'm
All right.
tired.
Good night, Michael. Thank you for showing up.
Yes.
I mean,
Thanks for chilling with us, man.
Bye.
But I don't know about you guys, but I always have this tendency to outline, like, in grotesque detail, most of the stories that I plan. Right now, I have
Okay, I'm
2
back.
idle outlines. One of them is for one of them's actually a romance that I've started, I think 4 or 5 times, and I just can't get the feel right, so I erase it and put it back on the aging shelf, as it were. And then the other one is, excuse me. The other one is actually this really interesting fic, that was called, what did I name it? yes, the first Pegasus, and it was effectively about this little filly who, was the world's first Pegasus, and the world turned on her, and there was effectively it was this almost like a story about how society perceives differences and then how it usually copes with that by being excessively aggressive. It was kind of written as a backup, or not a backup, but as a tribute to my ex-girlfriend, which, I mean, obviously, if that's the case, then it's going to cause, a bit of emotional tension in me now if I write it. But it's an interesting story, and I've been thinking about writing it for a while, so I may visit that. But right now I've got to keep focused on my current story. But
Okay, so for the outlines thing, alright. I actually outline a lot of my stories, but it's very, very vague, and I actually do not have the right notebook here for them, because I do all my outlines on paper, because reasons, I guess.
I used to do that, but then it was just such a problem to transfer it to the computer. It's like,
I'll do just my outlines
no.
on paper now. Like, I used to write on paper, because, like, I have, like, whole notebooks at home full of just coarse words. But now I just outline on paper, because I feel like it's the best thing to do. I don't have the right notebook here. It's over at my place. So, yep, I tried. I looked. Also, Foles, can I assume that every single story, or at least nearly every single story in this, like, 50-story idea selection are either about Celestia, Luna, or Twilight?
Let me see. No, there are some that are about. There's one about Cadence, and there's one about Shining Armor.
That's 2 out of 50.
those odds aren't looking too
Yeah,
good.
I know.
Gee, I wonder who Foles likes to write about.
The Muppet Babies one is all of the. Oh, what were you expecting? Is Spike. And It's All Her Fault is Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity.
I'm just saying, though, a lot of these are going to be about Twilight, Celestia, and Luna. Just because I know how you write.
That unfortunately, yeah, that is often how it works for me. I've been told this before, but I just am fairly good at writing them, and when I try to write the others, I have problems.
You know what? I think that's interesting because
Okay.
I've always focused on typically original characters or Twilight. I don't think I've ever written AJ, Rainbow, or Pinky, or like any of the other main 6. And there's a lot of other authors who will focus on like Rainbow Dash, and then there's other ones who will focus on like Fluttershy. I never thought about that before.
We all have our favorites.
Yeah, but it's like
The only 2 characters of the main 6 I've actually like wrote a story about would honestly be Twilight and Fluttershy. And Fluttershy was like a 1,000-word one-shot I did recently.
Yeah, the romance with Rarity, which was really awesome.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yes, it was very cute, very adorable. I got cavities because of that. I'm sending you the bill.
But I'm broke. I mean, how about this? You pay me money for writing that story, and I'll do something with that money.
Yo, okay, wait. Don't make me toss my masterpiece Megatron at you.
are you still playing with your Transformer?
Yes. Actually, I put him back, and I've grabbed another one.
I do have another story, which is honestly it's one of my favorites. There was a Discourse first main character. Celestia kind of seemed to be a antagonist for the story, but like she was, but she wasn't, and yes, complicated stuff.
I've been told I write Pinkie Pie very well, even though she's my least favorite of the main 6.
I have many
I've been told
friends who would get very mad at you
that
for
I am
saying
a
that.
cross between.
I don't. Okay, fine.
Been told. I've been told I'm a cross between Pinkie Pie and Twilight Sparkle in real life. It's kind of
I can see it.
dang.
As long as it's season 1 Pinkie Pie, it's fine.
Probably is. The other night, my husband and mother called me Twilight Sparkle
Hello.
about the same thing, unable to hear each other when they said it.
Somebody just joined because like I just heard someone say hello.
No, it's me.
Oh.
It's Weatherbug. I had my mic on mute this entire time. I was sitting here like, hello, hello,
Oh.
hello.
Can you hear me? Is anybody out there?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Call you on the telephone.
He's always
Uh,
himself.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I want. So we know who Fool's favorites are. What about you, Striker? Who do you write most about?
Trixie.
Trixie.
Oh yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
kinda figured.
It's interesting because she debuted in a pretty subpar episode, but I just love her.
Yeah, I
Okay.
really like that.
I
that
swear, you
latest-
and my brain.
Zodiac.
You and Zodiac need to get together. He's been challenging me to the war of the fluff with his tiny Trixie tales.
Yeah.
I edited for that story.
And
What?
oh, I also like
Who
writing
said
Megan.
that?
Your Megan is awesome, and I swore I would never read a Gen 1 crossover, and you made me break my vow, so I bow down to you, because that story is killer.
Thank you.
So, I feel like we need to hear who Luna and Stall prefer to write as.
Honestly, I prefer to write Twilight.
Me too.
I love writing Twilight. She's not my favorite. Rarity's my favorite, but I just love writing Twilight.
Alright, I'm gonna have to check.
Twilight
Sorry.
is a close second when it comes to my favorite pony.
I have just realized something though. I've only written Fluttershy in one story out of 25.
I've written Fluttershy in one story and a 5. Yep.
I got 20 stories more than you though.
True. Was it whenever? Okay, my very first story, the monstrosity that is, pretty much the main character was an OC, of course. It was not an Alicorn though, but it was OC, and pretty much the main 6 were there too, but the only one who ever like talked was Twilight, because I was like, I just didn't know what they'd be like. I was like,
Yeah, you did.
Fluttershy is gonna stay quiet because
Couldn't-
Fluttershy. All
Yeah,
of
you
our
couldn't
others were gonna
capture
stay
them
quiet.
though.
Yeah, it was a horrible story. I'm rewriting it, but like it needs editing. I haven't like, the last time I rewrote it, when I republished it again was over a year ago. Holy crap!
Mhm.
It's been over a year
Okay.
old. What is my life? 2
A
years.
miserable pile of secrets. But haven't
2
you?
years. 2 years.
Dang.
Woo.
Wow, I like lasted so long on this site with 2 stories, and then like in December 7th, 2015 is when I got another story.
If you go through all my stories, you'll notice that like 90% of them, or no, exactly 31 of them were written during October 2013, and like a week prior to that.
Oh no, you did one shot.
Yeah, I did, and that was amazingly fun.
I actually kind
I-
of want to try that.
I was going to try that, but I got talked out of it, and I'm so thankful that I did.
It wasn't terrible
Let's do
for
it,
me.
guys.
In fact, I do NaNoWriMo every year, so 30,000 words in a month versus 50,000 words in a month is actually pretty reasonable. I write fast. And it
I hate you for that.
I tried to do NaNoWriMo last year, but I lost it. I lost the time about around 21,000 words.
yeah.
But I'm still
If we're-
finishing the story, and that's actually a new Dawn, which actually I'm working on a chapter for right now.
Nice.
If
Not
I recall
right
correctly,
second.
something like personal happened with you, like right, like you were like unable to write for like a week or something like that, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
have
And
to-
was it like the really bad migraine thing?
Yeah, I think that was when I had one of my hemiplegic migraines really bad.
Yeah. That sounds awful.
Migraines are the
It
worst.
causes paralysis. It causes paralysis on my left side. Oh, no, that wasn't why. It was because Raiden died.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do much of anything for a while after that. It took a good 3 weeks for me to stop crying every
Hmm.
day.
Also, if I could
Yeah,
reach
I
out,
remember.
I'll hug you.
Eh,
I will
Oh,
fly.
they're good.
Yeah.
well,
Sorry.
at least everything worked out, kinda. Should we
Well-
probably move on to another topic, preferably one that I don't know.
I
Well,
It,
kind of have to
Why
head
don't
out.
we
keep
in 5 minutes.
rambling, or-
why don't we do our favorite season thus far?
Okay, I can
sure.
do that.
oh gosh, you're gonna make me have to go back and look at all the synopsises or whatever they're called.
Sit outside.
Yeah, so get started. You can go last.
I'll go first.
Okay, go for it.
Alright, I'm gonna have to go with season 2. Actually, no,
why?
season 3. Actually, yes. Season 2 because of the premiere. You can't beat that premiere.
Hmm.
I mean, come on, cancel our wedding.
Season 2.
Cancel. Yes.
That was
You
the
can't-
Casual Wedding
finale.
was season 2 finale.
Yeah.
That
Sure,
was
yeah.
at the end of
Yeah, you can't beat the finale.
finale.
Yeah, and the
See,
premiere
uh,
was
see-
great too.
Yeah.
That was
Introduce
the
Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Discord.
Discord's an
Eh.
alright character.
on top of that, you can't. Oh, great. Now I gotta look up synopsises.
For me, it's probably season 4.
Season 4 is one of my favorites. I can definitely say that.
For me, it's, I'm not sure how to say this properly. It's like got the best of it because season 1 for me is kind of on par. There's good, there's bad. It's good. Season 2 had awesome premiere, awesome finale, but it had the episode of Friend Indeed or God Pinkie Pie, I want to kill you.
A Friend Indeed was a
I
interesting episode, but
yeah, it's Friend Indeed is one of my least favorite episodes, but my absolute. You guys are talking about the Candlelit Wedding episode. I can't watch the first part of that because I can't stand how they treat Twilight
God,
right
yes.
after killing her not that long ago.
Foles, I think we talked
Promise
about this one
never
time
to
actually.
Treat you like that again.
Yeah, like Lesson 0.
I think we
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Lesson 0 is like 2 or 3 weeks before that.
I do like
And-
Lesson 0 though.
I like about it.
I
Just think
cannot
Twilight
watch
needed therapy.
Lesson 0 is
Um,
a great episode.
I feel like I feel like Sisterhood Social was an okay episode. Luna Eclipse was a really good episode actually.
I've watched that
One
like
of the
30
Trophy
I
times.
Finals.
love
too.
Luna, but
I would have to
Eclipse
say
is one of
my
favorite.
my gemstones from season 2 would have to be no, not Ponyville Confidential. I really like Super Speedy Side of Squeezy just because it's political in a sense, like it's economical.
Yeah.
But it's also got a really catchy, like old timey stylistic song.
Oh, that song
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I love that song.
I like the
Um,
fact that the machine wasn't evil. It wasn't the
Yeah.
machine, it was the brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't even evil,
Yeah.
they were just greedy.
Yeah, well, there was nothing wrong with the machine. The machine worked fine. It was just the brothers. I love that about that episode.
Mhm.
All they really
It
wanted
also has
was
Family Appreciation Day, which was a great episode for Apple Bloom.
Oh, I love Family Appreciation Day because it actually shows just how old Granny Smith most likely is. She's got to be
At
a
least
couple
200.
of 100 years old.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least. At very
Season
least.
3 was entirely too
For the
short.
town
but it had
to
magical.
evolve as much as it has.
Mhm.
I hated season 3.
I did not like season 3 because
I'm
it was so short. And that was the first season I
I
had joined in on with a where they had the full, like I was actually able to get up and watch the episodes. And there were only 13. I was like, what the crap is this?
Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
I came into the fandom right as season 3 was ending.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I never really got used to Twilight being a unicorn. I watched all the episodes, obviously, before I started writing, but I never really got much into her as a unicorn because most of what I saw was her as Alicorn. So I gotta put season 4 as my favorite. It's got the most character growth, I guess you could say, which is really neat. I love
I think they've done well with Twilight as a princess overall. It's just how she became a princess.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole situation
the
surrounding
episode-
it just...
if you've ever gone to the mall and heard Larson talk about it, he hates that episode. It
Who?
was supposed to be the series finale,
Larson.
and it was
Oh.
supposed to be a two-parter.
Which episode?
And then
Magical
they got
Mystery
Yeah,
redo
Magical
it,
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah, we still need this to happen, but you need to compress it.
Ah.
Okay,
Yeah,
kind of.
You get half the time we told you you get.
Okay.
It was bullshit.
Twilight
Kind of
was
funny story
so.
here.
I will say what my all-time favorite episode thus far has to be when the Cutie Marks got their the Cutie Mark Crusaders got their Cutie Marks, hands down.
That was a good.
I
episode.
Very good
freaked
episode.
out during that
I
episode.
was a little bit disappointed with
That
it.
is my favorite. I watch it every time. Every time I watch it, I go, that easily could have been the series finale, and everyone would have been happy.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
a great episode. I love the fact that they finally gave Diamond Tiara a bit of a redemption, but I love the fact that even more so, they gave Silver Spoon a little bit more love. But anyways, I had a thought. Did I ever actually say how I ended up joining MLP?
I think so.
Over
I
that
don't
stuff.
think so.
Wait. Go ahead, say it.
Yeah, go.
My ex and I used to play D&D while I was living with her place after moving back here, and we would go over to her friend's house, play D&D, and while we were playing D&D, or while on break during D&D, they would all decide to sit down and watch the episode whenever it came out, and I would usually just go outside and do whatever, or play on my phone, or work on my characters or whatever. And eventually me and her broke up. I didn't really think about it all that much for a little while, I'd say 4 months or so afterwards. And then I was like, okay, well now I'm in Utah, so I have nothing to do, and I was looking for work, had nothing to do, had my computer, was like, I'm gonna go ahead and watch some MLP. Because I actually bumped into a couple of memes on Facebook, and the first meme I saw was the friendship cannon. Or no, orbital friendship ray.
Orbital friendship cannon.
Yeah,
Yes.
orbital friendship.
Yes.
That was it. And hatred detected. And I was like, all right, I want to watch it just to watch it. I started watching it, and I originally planned on only watching like 1 or 2 episodes. 1 or 2 episodes turned into me watching it for the next 2 days in between work and sleep. And then as soon as my 2-day weekend came on, I had 2 days, 2 full days, 48 hours to dedicate to nothing but Netflix. And that's exactly what I did. I curled up on the floor in front of my friend's futon because we shared a room, and I sat there and watched MLP on her TV for like 16 hours straight.
Wow.
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 I cleared the first 3 seasons in 2 days because it was like a week before, like the very next week, like after I finished it all, I went ahead and was like, I wonder when season 4 comes out. Googled it next Saturday.
Oh,
I was like, sweet.
yes. That's
Nice.
awesome.
I got into the. Okay, I don't think I ever told how I got into the fandom. I actually was like, it was a while back. Like, I'd say probably like winter of like late 2012, like November-ish. No, not 2012. 2013. Yeah, 2013. And no, 2012. 2012 has to be 2012. Sorry, it's been a while. And I was talking
4
to a friend on
years.
Steam. It's been a long while.
That
I was
sounds
talking
a long
to a
while.
friend on Steam,
not a long
and
while,
I was asking like what he was watching. He was like, "Oh, something." I'm like, "What is it?" So he tells me it was My Little Pony. I was like, "Okay, whatever." Watched like the first episode. It was like the first season opener. It was all right. I pretty much did it to the green isn't your color episode and just got out of it for some reason. And fast forward to the summer of 2013, late summer, and I'm just kind of browsing the internet a little bit at my aunt's house, and I find Discord, the Living Tombstone remix of it. Listen to that. That somehow reinstalls my interest for the show, and pretty much from there I buy the first 2 seasons online, marathon them, and then get the 3rd season from a friend, marathon it, and then wait for season 4 to come out.
Nice.
Nice.
Very good.
Mine's still the
Oh,
best. I at least get it into with the baby meme. Like, yes, I win. Where he's like fist pump in the air.
Oh, the Success Kid that was
Yeah.
really popular back in
Yeah,
2012?
the Success Kid. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that was squeezing the
I
sand.
literally get a finish with that. Yes.
But
Oh, I know.
I think going back to the topics of the favorite seasons, because I don't think I ever got to mine.
What's
Yeah.
yours?
I really am having a hard time because, to be completely honest, the season I'm liking the most for its writing is season 6, because it's
I do like
got a
season
nice
6.
overarching arc. They've brought in a new character, and the out of any episode I've seen, the writing that has been my personal favorite was with the Saddle Row review, which is not last
yeah.
episode, but the episode before, where they're all effectively, it was like The Office with ponies.
Oh shit! Yeah, today's Sunday. I didn't see Applejack's Day
I
Off.
have it.
Me neither,
I
it's
was
okay.
watching it. I mean, I'm 16 minutes in, and I paused it last night to go to bed. I didn't even realize it's okay, but it was nothing like the last one, in my opinion. But
Okay. Well, I plan on watching it later tonight. So back to Saddle Row.
what
Has everybody here seen it?
Yeah.
No, but go ahead and talk about it. I like
have
spoilers.
not.
effectively,
Behind on 6, but don't feel bad about
okay.
it.
Effectively, the way they did Saddle Row review and had Applejack and Rainbow Dash interacting together, I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
The way they brought every character out and interviewed them personally about the whole situation and then showed the story, they did an excellent job with not necessarily expanding their
I
characters,
love the story
but
structure
using their
that they
characters.
use.
And that has been,
Yeah.
like, the more I think about it, the more I really appreciate that episode. Where I know a lot of people are like, especially the older guys, they're like, the Brony fandom was only good back in 2012, and blah blah blah, and like, okay, that's a bull crap. But second of all,
It's like slashing up here. That shit like
yeah,
that.
pretty much. But the Saddle Row review is an excellently well written episode, and
And it's actually by a new writer,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Denny Liu and Tim Stubby.
Nick.
Oh wait, no, that's director.
Nick Confalno.
Let's see
Fallon?
here.
Nick Fallon.
No, it's Neil Ducedo. I don't know how to pronounce that. Michael P. Fox and Will Fox. But
No, that's.
oh, that's right,
Applejack's
that's right.
spin-off. It's Nick.
Nick Kefallen
Nick Confalon.
or something. Yeah, he did a great job.
Heartwarming Tale was very well written for how
Okay.
musical it was.
Yeah, so
So I'm just kind of curious. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of curious here about RK. What did you think of No Second Prances?
Twilight Sparkle has reached full Flanderization, characterization, has become a total caricature of herself. And I honestly, I'm going to be perfectly honest here, I hated her by the end of the episode.
Twilight.
Yes.
That was. Yeah, she was trying to do the friendship thing. I liked how they
Yeah.
started the episode with her being kind of awkward, but they pushed it too far by having her make the knives are sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing.
It's like
I mean, I identify best with her in the way that she overthinks, and I can definitely see how she can stumble into that and then just try and make up a quick excuse as to what she was doing.
Yeah.
And I
It's
do
like-
appreciate the fact that they went ahead and explained her. They had her explain that she was actually trying to use this as a metaphor for a friendship lesson, which, in my opinion, would have been good.
it's
and
just
it
I
could
saw
have been
this.
great. But
I saw this picture online. One half was Starlight Glimmer, the other half was Trixie, which detailed basically their quote-unquote crimes. You know, Starlight, ran Jonestown basically, used time travel and almost destroyed the universe. Trixie, meanwhile, was in her first episode basically a braggart who lied, and under the influence of the Alicorn amulet, screwed up. Yes, and it's like Starlight Glimmer, give her a second chance. Trixie, no.
Yeah.
And it's like, ugh. And it didn't even matter if it was Trixie or not. It didn't matter if
In
it was Trixie.
Trixie's defense, in Twilight's defense, there, the thing with Trixie did seek it out, and I'm sure that she knew that it would kind of corrupt her because she had to know about it somehow, didn't she?
Yeah,
That and she came
it was-
back a
it
second
she
time.
bought it from a shady trader.
yes, I
Yeah.
fully acknowledge that Trixie screwed up there, but it's still like, it's just
It's
like,
disproportionate
I don't.
in the way that, like,
I might be the only one, but I don't like Starlight.
I'm not a huge fan
I
of
hate
her
her too.
either.
I hate
I
guts.
thought she was an interesting
I like her.
character.
I think
I like her.
I think she's got Michael's
I
back.
thought she's an interesting character, but the only thing with her is that backstory of why she turned evil.
I know, that's a bit of a
Friends, I
sloppy
lost friends
backstory.
as a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, it was, but you gotta think they're also working with a very small time slot. So
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
That's-
sure if they actually did what they need to do and do a movie, they would get much further.
2017, guys.
2017.
that's the kind of
Yeah.
backstory that would have difficulty justifying a lemonade stand racket.
Yeah. Yeah, not necessarily
Yeah, it's like
trying to
shooting your
destroy the
parents
world.
because they won't. Oh wait, that actually happened. Yeah, some kids shot their parents because they took their phone away from them.
Oh.
So I mean, stupider things have happened.
And also
Yes.
remember that time amplifies anything. So like if you and I use this actually while I'm writing, interesting tie back into our, purpose. But
You have a purpose?
not really.
Well, technically, right now
Yeah,
we're just
purpose.
Yeah.
discussing
But
characters.
yeah, but the tie back with the fact that happens so early in her life, you've seen all the, like, especially earlier on in the earlier episodes, Twilight mentions magic kindergarten, and I think it was mainly in Lesson 0, but it was that
Only less.
concept of like, I am totally afraid of that. That's mainly because at least this is what I picked up, is that it's mainly because, not that it was the worst thing ever, but because to her at that time, it was the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any other
To be honest,
there
Go
wasn't any other
Sorry, I
way
thought
to
you were
relate
finished.
that back to, something where she would just be able to brush it off. And I mean, if her friends had done something, similar, or she'd have been in a similar situation with people laughing at her, then, like, in the current time, she wouldn't have had near as much of a problem. But I think something similar can be said for Starlight, where, she lost the quote-unquote only friend she ever had and such like that, and kind of went on a rampage of stuff like that. The more you dwell on hurt and pain, and the more a character dwells on hurt and pain, the more powerful it'll start to feel. At least that's how I've written a lot of my stories, especially with how things
Yeah.
amplify over time. But I think it's reasonable that she did go kind of crazy at that time and, try to destroy the Equestria. But
yeah, she got an idea in her head and blocked everything else
yeah,
out.
but the problem with that is the writers did not do a good job of showing the amplification. If it had started with that and then gone, like 30 seconds of, her in high school, 30 seconds of her in her early, and actually shown a decay rather than just making the watcher assume that's what happened, because that's usually really subtle, then it would have been understandable. But
I have sympathy. Oh, sorry.
what
yeah,
was
I'm done.
the who was the name of, well, what was the name of the pony that she played in Twilight Story in Her Swimming Tale?
Snowfall Frost.
Yeah.
Snowfall Frost had a much better refined backstory than the actual character.
Yeah,
I've
So-
that's true.
I really like that.
Although that episode, the more I watched it, let's put it this way, I didn't not like it. I really did enjoy it. But I noticed almost immediately, oh, this is a Scrooge story with a spin. It's a good spin,
Yeah.
but it's like, I will be
I
more
do
critical
like
of
it.
a story that's based off another story. Just like I'm more critical of fan fiction typically
Yeah.
than of like original stories. But that's just
You
me.
gotta have
Alright,
something
guys.
to add.
Guys, I think it's time we should call it
I
off
agree.
for now because like we're going at least like what, an hour and 30
This has
minutes.
been
Yeah.
Really close.
oh
to
my
2
god,
hours.
almost 2
Yeah.
hours.
Wow.
Okay.
Dang it! Why do we have to be
Yeah.
such good
Yeah,
friends?
since I got here, it's been over an hour. So
I have to go to bed in less
Yeah.
than an hour.
Good night.
I should be asleep.
Good night,
right
everyone.
now, but I can't.
Have a
sleep.
good one,
so
everyone.
I'm gonna be writing. So I'll be around.
Same here. I've got
Thanks.
another chapter, 2,000 words.
I'll probably be running for about half an hour, 20 minutes as well.
Thanks for letting me ramble,
Yeah,
everyone.
same here.
Let's do this again next week, guys.
Definitely.
Bye bye,
Thanks.
Mr. Britton.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Dropping
See you
in.
guys.
Next
Bye.
Monday. Bye.
Bye. Okay, Luna, stay.
Yeah, I'm hosting, so.
Yeah. Real quick before we go, Luna and I would like to make a small announcement, and if Michael left. We are planning on streaming at least once a week. Do we have a specific time that we're going to be jumping
Start
into
at
it?
Sundays at 4:30 and go 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, and basically go until we die. Not really. Probably go for 1, maybe 2 hours. This was our first one, so it's kind of
Yeah.
up in the air. We'll see how it fleshes out. Seems like our conversation kind of peaked around an hour, so we probably don't want to cut it off then. But we may not want to take it as long as 2 hours in the future.
Yeah, who knows? We might just we'll find out more
Yeah.
later. For now, it's mostly just experimentation. I would like to say that not all episodes are going to be MLP related.
Right.
So, because we do plan on actually going into actual books and whatnot, like popular things that everybody's seen, such as Lord of the Rings, and explore. For instance, we might just take a really good look at Gandalf's character. What makes Gandalf Gandalf?
Yeah.
And not someone else. So, hey, Michael.
You keep on jumping on and off. He just left again. Okay.
And he's gone again.
So,
All right. If you want to go ahead and wrap it up, we can wrap
all right.
it up.
Well, this is
But-
Words Are Words. This is our live podcast stream thingy, and we'll see you all next week. Have a good one.
Yeah. Have a good one.